Hey everyone, Scott from Octava Engineering here again with another quick how-to video. And this time, continuing on our purely serial encoders, we are going to be looking at Panasonic. So serial encoder manufacturer is Panasonic. In this case, I'm working with an MFE 2500 style. Panasonic, because they're used in so many different manufacturers, because there's so many different flavors of Panasonic serial encoders out there, may not always be clear which of these drop-downs to select. So if you're ever in doubt, please reach out to us. But it's going to be based largely on the motor manufacturer that is running that encoder. And as you can see, there's already several here with more out there. In this case, we are working on an MSMA. And we'll go ahead and hit start. All right, so like with other purely serial encoders, we have encoder power, and we are also supplying battery power to the encoder in the event that the encoder has a battery backup. As you've seen me do before, as soon as I see encoder power is being supplied and battery power when applicable, I always change my diagnostics window to signal characteristics so I can view these dials in real time on the channel being analyzed. You can see in this case for Panasonic, the encoder specific feedback information, this specific data section, in this case is blank. That is because there are no alarms or unique things that the encoder throws. The encoder is either good or bad. So keeping it simple there. Another thing I'll point out as I start rotating the shaft of this motor, you can see my mechanical angle is actually at 0. So this particular encoder, even though there's not specifically an index fault, does have to be indexed. So as soon as that index occurs, you can see that mechanical angle come to life, and now things are moving normally. So this is why with the automation of analytics, collecting data on the channels itself and then automatically moving to the next one, that's a good example of why the system is saying 2 to 4 rotations before the test comes into progress to clear things like any index faults, counter errors, things like that. So that's why that's there. But now that I've rotated a few times, you can see the test is in progress. And again, just like other purely serial encoders, the only channels to analyze are the data and the data not channels. And for these, obviously we recommend rotating all encoders at about 10 to 15 RPMs just to get good, clean signals out of them. But for Panasonic encoders especially, if I stop rotating while the test is in process, you'll notice that my amplitude strength here starts to drop. So you want to keep the rotation as smooth and as constant as possible. Aside from that, things are looking okay. The voltage strength is a little low, sitting around 90%, but still within range. All right, And once enough data has been recorded for all the channels, as always, the test pauses. It goes into scope mode. If you want to dig a little deeper on the channels, you can manually select them to view on the scope or see what's going on in the analytics module in real time. But if you're happy with what you saw as you were conducting the test, go ahead and hit Stop Collection. Click on Reports, fill out your worksheet. And there you go. So on average, both channels just a little over 90%, which still gives it an overall score of excellent. Little voltage and noise spike on the data net channel there. It's like right there. But nothing serious going on. So this encoder would be perfectly usable. And that's it. Nice and simple for Panasonic. The hardest thing about a serial Panasonic encoder is figuring out which encoder it is. Because a lot of times, even on the encoder itself, the label won't be completely clear. So that's when you reach out to us for help. Do a little trial and error on your drop-down selections in the analytics window. But yeah, aside from that, nice and easy. Again, thanks for watching.